Hey everyone, my name is Anders, and today we're going to talk about this week's add-on rework for Black Desert, and I'm going to give you a preview of the War of the Roses story. I've spoken about the add-ons update a few times since it released in Korea last week, but I wanted to clarify some things and set expectations for the update overall. Keeping it simple, you need to know two things. One, add-ons work the same way as they did before. The process has not changed. You can go to a skilled instructor and change your add-ons there if you want. Two, all of your add-ons are now tier 3, which means they are the highest strength they can be, and they last longer than before. That's all you really need to know, but of course there are some details we can get into to better understand how this rework or improvement to the add-on system will benefit you. We can now use tier 3 add-ons on any skill, which is good. Before, some classes only had one skill that gave you a tier 3 add-on, meaning you sometimes had to decide what effect you wanted the highest tier of and when you would use that in your combo. Now you don't need to worry about it too much, though I still strongly suggest you think about which add-ons you take for which skills. Don't just take every single add-on just because you can. Duration is a lot longer than before, but it is dependent on your skill cooldown. So the longer the cooldown of your skill, the longer the duration of your add-on effect. This is the table they gave us to show how long each type of effect can last. The way they've structured it is by putting add-on effects into categories, so you can see which categories will have longer or shorter durations, and then breaking down skills into cooldown tier lists. So tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, depending on the tier of that cooldown, the longer effect add-on you will have. Almost all of the effects will be buffed compared to what we have right now before this patch, with the exception of health on hit, which is slightly nerfed, and mana leech is also completely removed. I'm going to use Succession Megu as an example. You want to have some redundancy for some add-ons like crit damage and back attack damage if you use them. This is because even though we have longer durations for these new add-ons, they may still not apply to your entire combo if that combo is too long. And this is why it's important to test your new add-on sets in Battle Arena when this patch goes live. All your add-ons will be completely deleted when the patch hits, so you're going to be getting a 3-day Old Moon book to help you swap your add-ons for free and choose which ones you want to use. The combo I use for Succession Megu is this one right here. I'm going over this to sort of show you how you want to be thinking about setting up your add-ons yourself when this goes live. So my first skill is Flower Shroud, so that activates my crit rate add-on and attack speed add-on. Crit is only really useful for a handful of skills as a Megu, but in the beginning of the combo, I'm using a lot of buffing and debuffing skills that don't always have 100% crit rate. Having crit rate here as an effect early on helps us achieve that 100% crit rate we want, which means more damage. I follow Flower Shroud with our accuracy buff and AP buff skills into our DP debuff skill called Fox Spirit Tag. As you can see, we have an additional DP and evasion debuff on this skill. Follow that with Spirited Away, which gives me my monster AP buff and accuracy rate buff. Then I use a couple of skills for damage into Bristling Sparks, which activates our crit and back attack damage buffs, into Heavenward Dance for our self DP and evasion buffs. Because it's a longer SA skill, we want some defense. We also want to refresh our DP debuffs with a Fox Spirit Tag skill again, into another skill AoE, into our teleport skill for the back attack placement and damage, and then finish up with Spirit Swirl, which again has crit and back attack damage buffs, and then we repeat with the crit and back attack damage modifiers already in place for the second combo string if we need it. Sounds more confusing than it really is. Really, the most important add-ons you want to be focusing on are attack speed and accuracy for the most classes in the beginning of that combo. You want them early in those combos, and you don't want them to drop off for more than a second or two throughout the combo. Again, this is just my preference and the combo I use, so obviously for your class or for your own Megu, you want to apply the same concept when choosing your add-ons after this update goes live. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them in the comments or over in the Discord. I'll try to respond when I can. I also wanted to leave you with something I normally don't do, but this is going to be a cinematic cutscene of the War of the Roses main story. Now, we don't have War of the Roses in global regions as of the making of this video, but evidently they have already localized the main story for that mode. If you're unfamiliar, War of the Roses is the new mass PvP game mode coming to the game. It's already been out in Korea as a sort of pre-season and is still being tweaked, so it should be out fairly soon for the rest of the regions. Believe it or not, there is a story leading up to the reason for having the War of the Roses, and it's not bad, so I wanted to show you this brief cutscene and let me know what you think. The questline was maybe half an hour long. It's not very long at all. You have to choose to side with the Camisylph Ganels or the Odraxia Verdir to proceed in the story. I know the story is not what most R spammers like, but I thought it was a pretty good one, and hopefully they keep fleshing out story in the game this way in the future. adventure. I think it works for it. If you're dreading this questline, you don't even want to do it, don't worry, it's completely optional. You don't have to complete this questline to participate in the actual War of the Roses PvP mode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
In the fierce war with the dark spirits, we made the bold decision to set fire to the sacred tree of our mother, Karmasilf. With that intense power, we were able to drive out the darkness and restore peace to the forest.
Set ablaze the sacred tree and pierce the light that shrouds the darkness!
Prophet Audra rallied her sisters of Vidir in preparation for the darkness's impending return. However, what actually returned were the blades of the loathed Genel, those who valued the legacy of the dead more than the living. Fearing what the loss of the sacred tree might bring, they drove us from our mother's forest. Little did they know, we already had a theory for how to create a new sacred tree. We wandered through arid lands until we discovered the ruins of the ancient kingdom of Orzeka. It was there that we found our mother's answer to our fervent prayers. The Kuturan, the colossal thornwood that was worshipped by the ancient Orzekans. By grafting the Karmasil's branch onto it, our theory was proven, and a new sacred tree, Churasil, was born. That place became known as Odraxia, the land of prophets. Churasil bestowed upon us a power even greater than that of Karmasilf. But that power was tainted with an ancient curse of darkness that lingered in the Kuturan. Though some of our sisters succumbed to that corrupted power, we could not give up. The Void One is like a ship lost at sea, and the radiant tree is its beacon. Countless ancient records have revealed to us that our decision was not made in error. Even now, the light held within Karmasilf attracts a great darkness. Hadum. Feeble light only makes the darkness more pronounced. Must the Genel be torn to pieces again to learn their lesson? Was the rift between us not enough? Return the imprisoned light to the void. Overwrite the darkness with even deeper darkness. That is the only path that we, as our mother's daughters, will walk as we protect this world.